Yeah. Jeez. Be serious now.
Is like honestly because sometimes sometimes the no might hurt.
But tell me no
it's
time and now when me look back at it, I say, you know what, girl? You know,
of course, like, of course, sometimes the reward is the no, and I think it's up to us to know, like, you know, and remember, we don't remember all the prize that we make, but God remembers the prize that we make. Boy, should I tell them about that?
Yeah, girl.
That was
that was the other day.
That was the other day. Like, okay. So,
well, I tell you, you tell yours, and then me, I gotta tell mine.
Yeah, of course, definitely. Right? Just alright. So, quick catch up. I worked in a bank. I hated it. Banking is not my field. Didn't want to be in it. Pray to God that hey, I don't want to go back in a banking. Right? I left my job in banking. I say, you know, I'm going to banking. I pray to God. I said, God, please don't put me back in a banking. Anyways, leaving my job, I was looking for a new job and so forth. I ended up applying for an admin job within a bank, right? Mind you, my mama telling us sometimes you remember your prayer, but God remember your prayer. And I had my mind on that admin job a lot. I was like, okay, it's admin, but without thinking that it is within banking. Mind you, right? The people them called me back and they were like, hey, unfortunately we're not gonna move on with you with this job, yada. And it was, you know, as a normal person, yeah, you feel sad because you know this is disappointment for you, right? And right now it's at that time it's disappointment for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was like, you know, I'm on my walk with Christ, like I don't want this to like hinder my faith or whatever. I'm gonna start pray about it. I'm gonna say, God, like I don't want to like second guess you or be upset with you, like if I'm enough, then you know I'm enough, like whatever and so forth. I'm gonna pray about it. I end up finding like a Bible verse. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna say, okay, fine. Anyways, I'm gonna sit down in my room. I'm gonna do that. I came out of my room and I went to get a broom because I was gonna sweep out my room. And as soon as I re-entered my room, I stood right by the door. I'm not even reaching. Right at the door, I'm stand up. I'm just start bawl. Like the lady start tear up. People like me, I say, oh my God, I'm tearing up. Like, and it's not crying because I didn't get the job. Guys, I cried because I started to say, thank you, Jesus, for what you are saving me from. And like, that was me right now just recognizing like God saved me from so many things. Like, you know, like for years, like it's always been you. And like I'm tearing up and all I'm finding myself saying like, thank you, Jesus, for saving me. I don't know what you're saving me from, but you're saving me. And I'm like, oh my God. Right then and there, I just had a flush of memory when I'm like, but girl, you pray to God for not put you back in on the bank.
Yeah.
Because you know how working
in the
bank felt for you, right? I may say, I wasn't sad because I didn't get a job, right? I was crying because I recognize how great God is. Like, He remembers my prayers. He's like, you are willing to settle for something that you know don't like, something that you know will harm you mentally, just because like there's no real reason why you need to forsake with this job.
Yeah.
And like I've been like rejected for other jobs, and honestly I never had this breakthrough moment that I had in this specific time. And like when I tell you, I sat down and I started like analyzing how before, like my brother was like, sis, this job is very demanding and so forth and whatever, and like I had to like, you know, I had to wait for that, no, but I wasn't lie, but I had to like
exaggerate,
or you know, tweak my resume to fit this role. And honestly and truly, even when I was applying for it, I was like, God, please forgive me, because I don't want to lie, or because like it makes you have to work so much when you do lie, because you have to now learn these lies and make it seem like,
remember you lie them good.
Exactly, you know, like me have to come up with scenarios where we can genuinely say, oh my
demonstrate
God,
certain skill sets.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to have to do that. Like back home in Jamaica, any job when I apply for, like me put my actual jobs that I've done, and I'm like, oh my God, you're qualified to do jobs, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's like before that whole thing, I was like, okay, am I enough? Like, you know, like, and it's like God saying, girl, I made you, you are enough. You can get everything that you're supposed to get
if you're obedient.
And
that don't mean right away, because as we say, sometimes you just don't ready for stuff. You might feel like you're ready for stuff, but you don't ready.
You're not. And honestly, in all of that, I remembered when I made the prayer that God, don't give me anything that I want if it is not your will for me. And that was the perfect example of God not giving me something that I was like, oh God, give me this, give me this, give me this. You guys like, girl, that's not
what you want.
That's not my plan for you. You don't even really want that. So let me show you this. No.
Yes, listen.
And that was me getting a reward. That's a closed door. That's a no.
Yeah.
And recognizing that no, because honestly, if this was like probably a year ago or so,
would I rock us, you know?
I would be so depressed. Like probably that's a case nobody come me out. But I'm in the mood. I don't want to deal with it. You know, like I don't want to deal with anybody.
And it's funny because on the other side of that, you know, when you shared with me that you were applying for jobs and stuff like that, I was praying for you as well. And I said, God, she want this, you know, but again, if I'm not that you want for the lady, you know, don't give her. So again, just a testament to you praying that you don't want to go back into that space. You are willing to settle for that, and just knowing that there was somebody else out there petitioning for you in terms of if this is what you really want for her, fine.
Yeah.
Do it. Angle it. But if I'm not that you want, don't angle it.
Make it go.
Make it go.
Make it go. And like, I am so happy that we're in a space now where we understand that it's His will,
not ours.
Right? And that gives us the name.
Yeah.
His will, our walk. Like we're on this path, but it's really what
that He might carve it out.
Yeah.
When I really know, when I ever really know how much steps ahead there is. We just know so the right is to know, and we try our best to be obedient and learn. So if him say shift left, if we just shift left and know say him create the path over the left path or but I stop and I ask him about, you sure we'll go over there? Because same time my boss could have come and look you down.
Listen, let me tell you something. God say, in a sense of people ask for your sign. Stop asking for your sign, please.
Yeah.
Please stop asking for a sign.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all.
He'll give you confirmations and stuff, and I feel like that come with like again relationships.
Yeah, real faith.
Yeah. But listen, when we did learn that in our mind, they say, listen, asking for a sign. I think one of the podcasts did break it down. I was just like, you asking God for a sign is like saying dance monkey dance. Who are you to ask God about if reveal? Like you're not ready.
It's like a sign for what? Sometimes we know. Yeah. We know what the consequences.
Every time me ask for a sign, me previously. Every time me ask for a sign, I know I say
you know if you ask for a sign.
You know for that.
Yeah, you already know what to do. So like that's why he's like, when the Pharisees them I say, oh, give me a sign. He's like,
no.
I don't need to give you all a sign. First of all, when I see me I heal people, cast out demons, all that, but yes, you still come to me and ask me for a sign. He's like, go and wait for the sign.
You
Because you
wicked and
won't
adulterous
get
generation.
no sign.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, you're going to continue asking for this sign. But guess what? I'm not getting on.
Yeah. Anything I believe.
Guys, it's so true. Like, you're not going to get that sign that you're asking for.
And be careful if you think you get a sign.
Yeah. If you actually get something, you're like, oh my God, God gave me a sign. I'm pretty sure you got no sign from God. That is Lucifer himself
working hard.
He's dipping coal in gold. Yeah, he's dipping coal in gold, y'all. Cause y'all getting that gold thing. You think, oh my God,
a real thing.
Nah,
no.
you ain't getting what. So there's no sign. There's no getting a sign.
Yeah, I just have faith and go through.
Yeah,
have faith and go through, and whatever it is in time, it will either be fruitful and multiply, or it will be like when Jesus see the tree and say, you know, may see you from far and think you have some fruit. I'm gonna come up here and have none.
Yeah,
then,
you know, the fig tree. Yeah, and then you know, even in that one, he's like, you have to have faith, because if you have faith and you say, move mountain, the mountain will move. Like, you have to have faith. And guys, I was watching a podcast yesterday too, and Jerry was like, you know, uncertainty is the
breeding ground for faith.
The breeding ground for faith. Like, there has to be uncertainty for faith. Like, can you imagine if
it is certain everything you wouldn't need to believe?
Like, why you don't need faith?
Yeah.
If you did so sure, okay, God I gonna give me that job, yeah. You're not pray.
Yeah.
You're not have faith because you're sure so God I gonna give you the job. Now you have to have faith. You have to have pray. You know, like, we don't have that what's the word that I'm looking for, to God anymore since Adam and Eve. We don't have that.
You know, is that the video that you watch with Michelle? Where it's like, God was really like our bro. Like, you know, like he was really in the garden, like, what's up? What y'all doing today?
Yeah.
And then as soon as, you know, the sin was committed, them eyed, we're afraid, like, we don't want him, you know.
And then him cast we out. So it's like, you have to call now. You gotta be on a hotline. It's like, God was right here where we could have talked to him. But because of our ways, we got casted out, and it's like, okay, well, you have to call the third party. You gotta call. You have to call one box company and say, hey, connect my call to God, because right now we can't talk to God. Like, it's through Jesus. Yeah. Make sure you understand that. Yeah. Like, that's if we're not find Christ, we're not gonna really talk to God, because God ain't gotta talk to y'all. He's like, get
up on you.
Get these people.
Hang up on you.
Not in the mood. He's clocking our tea out. Yeah. So
yeah. So guys, I recently went on a 3-day fast. Yeah, I went on a 3-day fast. I fasted before on 2 occasions. The first time I failed horribly. I did the opposite of everything Matthew said I should do. I was upset. I make up my face, but never interested. Everybody was just so annoying to me. Like, eventually I gave up on that one. I was like, you know what, whatever. I don't know what breakthrough that would have given me, but may just start midway, and the enemy did win. The second time I did it, but I wasn't really intentional about it, meaning I wasn't trying to be as prayerful or in worship or sitting still. And so when I went to do the 3-day fast, there were certain things that I was looking for God to speak to me about, not a sign, to speak to me about. And I wrote down all of them. And when I was doing my fast, when you're doing your fast, you don't tell anybody that you're doing your fast, unless you and that person probably agreed to do a fast together. And so I was going through it, and no one knew that I was doing it, and I was trying to do everything like normal. So I got up, wash face, change clothes, try to do some of the tasks I needed to do, even went for a walk. And I was surprised that I went on the walk, because I thought that having
not eat
context, when I was going to do the fast, I thought it was going to be a water fast, meaning just drinking water. And I felt conflicted, because I was just like, I don't feel like it's just a water fast I should do. I feel like I should not eat anything, but I wasn't sure. And so I prayed to God and I asked God. And to be honest, I never got a clear answer like, yes, don't eat no food. I just also didn't get a clear answer as to, yes, drink water. So I decided, because I never get a clear answer, I'm going to have the inclination say that if you do, again, me never get a sign. You know what you must do. If you feel like that you must do, then do that. So no drinking of water, no eating of food. Guys, me I belch. Every time I said me I belch, I said, thank God, cut the lady enough. Me not feel hungry, me not feel thirsty. How my bed is set up, guys. My bed, the top of it, I had 3 bottles of water. And I think 2.5 days into the fast is when I recorded it. It was the night before it was finished.
Yeah.
And I, me I worship, me I pray. I go for the walk because I said, I don't know if I come in my room, why I'm not hear him, or, I feel him, but I'm not hearing him. And that's why sometimes, I try to hear God about something in particular, and I might try to talk to you about something else, something more important. And in the room, I just say, I feel like my fast I go down and I not hear him. But I try to comfort myself and say, Cassian, you can't, fasting is a skill.
Yeah.
And you can't think say the skill the first time I just go bang out so. Hello, miss, you might have to do this a couple of times.
Yeah.
And in the night I was watching one of Michelle Touch's video, and it was maybe like 5 to 10 minutes into the video, and she was talking about rest. God is calling you to rest. I'm gonna say, guys, the lady bust out hey, if you make one listen to the voice note, the lady bust out, and I had to record it in my Voices app, because even though I got my breakthrough, I still couldn't share it yet because my fast wasn't done, which is a trick of the enemy. You might get your breakthrough, because even know say you get your breakthrough, and you get telling go talk, and then listen, one thing about the enemy, him go run go tell Jesus, If you think when you mess up, him not tell Jesus, him coming like the most annoying sibling ever. You make a mistake and him so Jesus he never says she you have to remember, you say use a God of like justness. So whatever the justness is, now you're gonna either have to push back or breakthrough, or you have to go cheat, whatever. But she broke the rule.
Yeah.
So I recorded it in the Voice app, and I was crying because prior to that I was thinking about getting a second job, because I wanted to fulfill my own ideas about what like financial like security looks like for myself. And literally, guys, when I'm talking to Philly, me say the words out of my mouth, so me literally just go apply to a job and me go work until I'm tired. Work until I'm tired, and when I'm tired, that's when I go stop. And so when I got my breakthrough, and it was like rest, and that's what I'm telling you. When I went into the fast, I wasn't trying to. Me not pray about, and that me a pray about. Cause me don't make up my mind. Say me I'll apply to my job. Me I'll work until me tired, and then I'm going to rest. God, I say listen to me, lady. You see all of that long list the way you write out. Me not really talk to that right now. That no need for start out right now. You about to force yourself into a season of busyness and tiredness is not going to be suitable for what I need you to do. And I still don't even really know what it is that he wants or needs me to do, but me just understand now, say all of the busybodiness
have to stop.
You have to be still and know that me is God. So you're gonna rest. And leading up to that, me tell you, I me chip a chat off my mouth, and I say me apply for that. The lady don't have no inclination yet for lift up the computer. I was actually going to start applying after the fast, because I try to do it when me did a fast, and me still message him. Mama just praise God and worship and stuff like that. So I say, see, the first order of business when the fast done, and the lady eat and she have some energy again, she'll go up on the computer, and she'll go apply. I'm gonna say, don't worry, I'm gonna mash up that plan for you. You planning, I'm wiping, and you're gonna rest. And after I got that personal revelation, I prayed and I said, God, please don't let me mistake my rest for becoming complacent. Like if you see me, if you see me, I get to that stage there. Again, a year plan, and this is me being human and honest. I still feel plan, you know. So even if me ever get for feel like, you know, I feel like me I get lazy. Listen, if the man door, if I'm come out of my rest season, you can either decide to rest until me clearly tell you say the resting season is done, or you can go and do what you want to do, and anything will happen to you or happen to your business that. I still I gonna do what I can do for protect you, but again, you're outside of what I told you to do. Because if you just sit and keep yourself quiet, nothing will happen to you. And it was so different to hear it and feel it from God, because don't get me wrong, my friends are always saying, Keshan, you always do something. If you know me, I always do something. Whether it's work, for myself, for somebody else, the lady always do something. It's like sometimes she don't know, officer know sometimes. She don't know. And I could feel, you know, the internal like tiredness. But me just brush it off and I say, well, you want a good life? You have to work hard.
And that is your major loss. That tiredness, that constant wanting to work. That is the loss for you.
Yeah, but you know what is funny? The lady always tell people say, no, so resting is important. And the lady not resting.
But that's like pretty ideal for us human beings to give advice and then not take it.
But since you know, calling me into rest, probably God did call me in a rest before that, you know. I'm never really pay attention to it, but you know, everything works for the good for those who love him, because you know, the lady after is called how much PTO the woman have.
Really?
The lady have no PTO. No. And it will accrue over time, and that's kind of how I'm viewing it now. Which is, he's asking you to rest. Your PTO accrue over time. Maybe at the end of the year you forgot to do something.
You can rest again that time.
Or maybe you keep on a try to do these big extravagant things. More than do things, but it not always big and extravagant.
That's true.
And me still I gonna use you in a way more to use you. So as I said, guys, I went into the fast. That's not what I wanted to hear. Like, me write down my list. If me never still have, you know, we have to share. We are get more spiritually mature, so we just have learned certain things we don't have to share yet. But if it was something that I could share with you, the list about 7 things on the list, not one thing though include rest.
That's true. And you know, like, honestly, like, I think that type of grief, it just shapes our perspective. Like, you know, you have to lose these things, guys. There are certain things that it's taken from us, you know, and a lot of things that's taken from us is by God. Like, you gotta be mindful that, hey, God not do nothing for harm you. You know, like, if he's taking this, then
Glory to Jeremiah.
You're really, if he might take it from you, just make him go. I don't know if y'all ever saw that meme, you know, with the little girl and she had that tiny teddy bear.
Oh yeah, and he had the big one behind him.
And like that's how you have to like view grief. I mean, like, he's taking something from you, but sometimes he's giving you something better. And people. Anyways, this is probably gonna be a 2-part series.
I don't know how long the video be.
It might be a 2-part, probably on a 3-part. I don't know, but you know what? What we want you guys to do is like acknowledge your grief. Right? Acknowledge your grief and see how God's grace
is sufficient for you.
There we go.
It's sufficient for you. I see your stand now.
Period. Clock that tea.